everyone, it's Brittany and Katie with the Q Team in Rochester, New York. We are back for a short little mini-series this week and for a few weeks following this one. And today we are going to be discussing appraisal concerns that we are having in the market as agents, whether we're on the buy side or on the sell side.
Yep. So we wanted to do just this mini-series to kind of address a lot of the questions that we've been commonly seeing for our buyers that are in the market right now related to prices and appraisals, assessments, market value, all of those types of things, so that we can make sure that everyone understands what they mean and how they might affect them.
It's no secret that houses are selling for far above what they're listed for. But that being said, if a buyer is getting a mortgage, the house needs to appraise by the bank. And what that means is the bank will send out an independent appraiser and they will determine what the value is based on recent comps or comparable sales nearby within a radius. And whatever their appraisal comes back at is the maximum amount that the bank will loan you money for.
Yep.
So what happens if that appraisal comes in short?
Right. So you're paying, say, $150,000 for this house. You say, hey, seller, I'm going to give you $150,000. The bank appraiser comes in and says, you know what, based on all of our information, we think it's only worth $140,000. So the bank says, all right, well, I'm only going to lend you $140,000, but you told the seller you paid them $150,000.
Right.
So
there's
what
$10,000
typically
gap.
happens with, that $10,000 difference?
Yeah, so now in today's market, we're seeing a lot of people say, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if there's a discrepancy in the appraisal compared to what I'm offering you, I have the funds to make up the difference. And in a perfect world, that's what a seller would like to see as well, because the competition is driving up the price, which means that that's what the house is worth.
Right. And they want to guarantee or be guaranteed essentially up front that they're going to get what we say we're going to give them regardless. Why a lot of the times people wonder, like, why is a cash offer such a great thing? Why do people care? Like, if I offer to pay more than this cash offer, why might a seller pick that? And the main reason is because of these appraisal items. So if someone's concerned that a house might not appraise for the price that's being offered, if a bank is not involved and a buyer doesn't need to get a mortgage, they're paying cash, then there may not be an appraisal unless they decided to get one themselves. And that concern doesn't matter because there's no bank that's going to say, nope, won't give you the money.
They're free to choose their money however they want.
So if, let's say, a buyer comes in with an offer and doesn't say up front that they're willing to make up this difference, they want to, kind of see how it plays out, and the bank comes in and says, nope, we think it's $10,000 less than what it's worth. And what happens then?
So there's a few different ways that this can be solved. Obviously, the first one is a buyer being upfront, like we talked about earlier, and saying, I'll just pay the difference. Another option is for the buyer to say to the seller, we're willing to split it. We don't have that much of a cushion to blindly go in with, but we're happy to split it with you. Another option is to say, when the time comes, let's renegotiate. I'd venture to say that a seller might be most wary about that avenue, not knowing for sure that they're guaranteed the money that we're offering them, because we're saying we'll pay you this much money, which means that we think the home is worth this much money.
Right. And another thing that us as agents will do, if we think that this appraisal is lower than what it should be based on comparables that we've run and our market analysis and everything, it is possible to try to fight that appraisal. And basically we have to do our due diligence to show them proof that there is justifiable data supporting the price that we're willing to pay, and try to get that changed.
And what that means is submitting the comps that we've pulled that support our price that we went in with,
and any upgrades or any things that might justify something beyond a price that another house down the street got, for example.
And sometimes listing agents will even help out and say, we had 4 other offers at the same price.
Clearly that's
Mr. Appraiser, will you accept this as proof?
Yep. So a lot of those, basically we kind of tell our buyers, based on what your comfort level is, what your ability is, there's ways to navigate around this. But it is something that in this market that we are, needing to address and wanting to make sure that our, as a listing agent, that we're making sure we're doing the best by our sellers. And as a buyer's agent, we're making sure that we protect our buyers on their purchase.
Yeah. And we just felt it was important to talk about this because we're having to have this conversation with almost every set of buyers that we're working with. And regardless of where you're looking, what price range you're looking at, this language and these conversations are things you're going to have with your agent.
Yep.
So we just wanted to educate everybody who wants to watch us, and so that you hopefully have fewer questions and aren't as confused when it comes up.
Yep. So if you have questions or would like some more information, we can kind of explain this in more depth with you. Reach out, like, share, comment, share with someone that is in the market or thinking about entering the market anytime soon, so we can make sure that they're fully knowledgeable going in.
So stay tuned for next week's episode.